Welcome to Football Friday Night, Week 2. I'm Dave Siseski alongside Tony Quach. Dylan Tyson will join us later on. Tony, with the track disbanding at the end of last season, good to still see a rivalry still between the Finley Trojans and the Lima Senior Spartans, a game that the Spartans admittingly circled on their schedule.
That's right, Dave. You know the Spartans and the Trojans are eager for this showdown, which is why this game is our Football Friday Night Spotlight game.
Tonight's Football Friday Night Spotlight game is brought to you by Citizens National Bank.
The Lima Senior Spartans and head coach Bill Lawrence coming off an impressive 36-31 victory over Piqua, hosting the Finley Trojans, whom they haven't beaten since 2017. First quarter, Spartans defense flashing the interception here. Cameron Nix comes away with a turnover. However, Ryan Montgomery, though, he'd get his revenge later in the quarter. Montgomery with a pass over the middle to Reese Little, who makes the one-handed snag for the touchdown. Trojans up 6-0 after the missed PAT. Same score, still in the first, when C.J. Reed Tisdale receives the punt. He turns it into the Reed Tisdale show, makes a couple guys miss, then makes his way down the sideline where he takes it to the house for the touchdown to push the lead to 12-0 after a two-point conversion. The lead pushed to 14-0. Second quarter, same score. Spartans trying to get something going. However, Barrett Helms playing center field, and he'll get the pick. Trojans win 43-0. An all WBL showdown between the Shawnee Indians and the Lima Bulldogs. The Dogs with the 9-6 all-time advantage head-to-head. This one was a fight to the finish at Shawnee Stadium. Third quarter, Shawnee down 7-6, but driving. When the big number 50 here, Parker Krim, breaks through, gets the sack. Dogs forcing the Indians to try for a field goal. Indians, Tyler Kimmett with the clutch kick from 34 yards out to put Shawnee up 9-7. What a nail-biter this one was. Now we head to the fourth. Same score from the four. And how about number 4? Scoring the touchdown. Amari Wash with the score. Dogs take the league right back now and barking 13-9. Late fourth, the Indians driving on 3rd and 8. David Ett scoring. We say it all the time on offense. This time on defense. Steps in front, gets the interception. Touchdown would be called back, but this game was on ice. 13-9, your final as the Dogs go to 2-0 in the season.
It's a battle between Putnam and Allen County foes. The Pandora-Gilboa Rockets invade Harmon Field to take on the Bluffton Pirates. Both teams looking to build off their Week 1 victories. On the very first drive of the game for Bluffton, Garrett Bogart connects with Braden Jordan, and it's smooth sailing for this Pirate. He takes it all the way to the end zone for the touchdown. 15 seconds in, and the Pirates now lead 7-0, and the home crowd is absolutely loving that. The Rockets have an answer for that, though, as Corey Gertzen hands off to Ben Burkholder. The ball comes loose, but not before Burkholder breaks the plane to tie the game up at 7. To the second, here's a crazy sequence. Gavin Bogart comes up with the interception, and he heads downfield. But PG's offense comes up clutch on defense. The ball gets knocked out, and the Rockets will recover the pigskin thanks to Burkholder. However, PG would turn the ball over on downs. And the Pirates would capitalize as Bogart hands it off to Landon Worcester, and the junior takes it to the house for the TD. Bluffton wins this one, 28-21. Ayersville and Jefferson meet in Stadium Park. It's the first showdown between the two programs since the opening round of last year's tournament when the Jeff Cats defeated the Pilots 31-26. In the first half, Jefferson trails by 20 as Dean Trentman takes the handoff, and he takes it all the way past the goal line. That pulls Jefferson within 13 after the extra point. Let's run it back again. Trentman gets the handoff. Can he go the distance? Ladies and gentlemen, yes, he can. The freshman takes it to the house as the Jeff Cats now trail 27-26. But Ayersville would have the last laugh on the punt return. Ryan Wolfram receives it, and he's going to cut through Jefferson's defense. No one is stopping him. That's a 76-yard return for a touchdown. The Pilots now lead 35-26 after the two-point conversion. They go on to win 42-56. We need to take our first break on Football Friday Night. When we come back, we have action from Van Wert and Allen County. Stay tuned for those highlights and much more.
Welcome back. An all WBL showdown between the Van Wert Cougars and the Bath Wildcats tonight. A series nearly even with the 8-7 edge going to the Cougars. In fact, the last time the Van Wert Cougars lost to Bath was back in 2016 when the Cougars went 0-10. Both teams coming at 1-0 as the Cats with a huge 14-7 win over the D7 state champs, New Bremen. Cougars' new QB, Brylan Parker, threw 4 scores in Week 1 in their victory over Bryan Cougars, showing off the new renovated field to the fans. First quarter, no score. The Wildcats open up the scoring. Skylar Lehman takes it up the middle for the score. Cats up 6-0 after the missed PAT. Same score, still in the first when Parker throws it up to Reese Crew. who has nothing but end zone ahead of him. Cougars take the lead right back, 7-6. Same score, same quarter. And the QB, Zach Welsh, is going to do it himself. He'll take it up the middle here for the touchdown. They go back up on top in an all-out battle. This is a good one all night. Now, second quarter, Cougars down 21-7. And Parker throws a perfect fade in the corner of the end zone, and that baby's good to Connor Campbell for the touchdown. Van Wert with the comeback as they win big 64-42. Now, some other scores from the first week of the WBL and the league games. The Grand Lake rivalry between St. Mary's and Salina Falls in favor of the Bulldogs. They down the Rough Riders for the first time since 2015. In Defiance, the reigning WBL champions of Wapakoneta are now 0-1 in the conference after the Bulldogs pull off a 16-13 victory. The Redskins will have an uphill battle if they want to share the title. And the final team to start 1-0 in the WBL, Kenton Wildcats, with a 52-29 win over Ottawa Glandorf. The Wildcats join the 4 other teams who now have the upper hand in the league title race.
Thanks, Dave. The Bearcats take on the Paulding Panthers in their home opener. Spencerville's lone win last season was against the Panthers back in week 2. And the Bearcats look to exceed their win total from 2022. In the first quarter, Spencerville is in the red zone as Carter Orr hands it off to Carter Lehman, and he works his way into the end zone. Bearcats lead 7-0. Later on in the quarter, Orr delivers it to Nate Coulter, and the senior cuts through the Panthers defense for the score. Spencerville goes on to win this game 28-8. Now we welcome in Dylan Tyson, who has some action from the east side of Allen County.
Thanks, Tony. The WBL wasn't the only league beginning conference play this week. With the NWCC expanding to 10 teams this offseason, it's all conference action for these teams the rest of the way. We got our first taste tonight with the Perry Commodores hosting Ridgemont. And not only are these teams looking for their first conference wins, but with both squads starting 0-1, another loss could spell trouble down the road. Only 2 teams that started 0-2 in Region 26 last year went on to make the playoffs. Commodores looking to avoid that fate, trailing 20-24 in the second quarter. They catch a break when the ball slips free from Ridgemont's running back, and at the bottom of the pile is Perry Jr. Noah Cox. 1st and 10, Commodores. Ensuing possession doesn't last long, though, as John Cromer jumps in front of this ball for the Golden Gophers and secures the INT. He puts the ball back in Richmond's hands as halftime looms, and with under a minute to play, QB Connor Mans has his mans in the flat. Mason Howard breaks away all the way to the house. Gophers take a 32-20 lead into the locker room and get the ball back to start the second half. Second play from scrimmage. Mans hands it off to Jevin Henderson, bursts through the hole and past the arm tackles. Gophers have blown this game open 40-20. They get their first win of the year, 62-28. Ridgemont starts off conference play with a win, and remember, last year, all our league champs went undefeated in conference. So, the wins for USV and Waynesfield Goshen tonight put them on the inside track for their conference crown, while Crestline and Coy Rawson will have to battle back for a chance at a share. And wrapping up our NWCC scores, Hardin Northern earns their first win under Jerry Cooper, a 4-touchdown win over North Baltimore. And finally, over in Marion County, Elgin, the 5th and final NWCC team to start 1-0 with a 32-point shutout over Ridgedale. Sticking in Allen County with Allen East. Before last week's loss, the Mustangs had won 6 straight here on Goodwin Field. They intend to right the ship against Arlington, looking to snap the Red Devils' 6-game road winning streak. Red Devils have the ball in quarter 1, or, well, they had the ball before the toss gets out of the backfield. Caden Hedrick scoops it up, and he's brought down inside the 15. Mustangs will capitalize as Jack Hold tiptoes into the paint and puts the first points on the board, 7-zip. On the ensuing kickoff, Arlington lets the ball get loose again. It was Jordan Neal stripping it out and Hunter Nichols falling on top. Allen East has the ball again on a short field. But as they target the end zone, Arlington's Justin Rosh jumps the route, makes the pretty toe tap INT. Now the Red Devils with a chance to flip the script. Quarterback Trenton Heacock going deep, and he connects. It's Max Joliffe, and at the 40-yard line, whoop, stiff arms the first defender. Now he's got room down the sideline, whoop, breaks the second defender's ankles. Ultimately tackled for a 50-yard gain, but unfortunately, Arlington has to settle for a field goal on the drive, their only points of the game. Mustangs win 28-3. We're set for our second and final break on Football Friday night. Up ahead, we visit the Bulldogs of Putnam County as well as the Mercer County powerhouses. Check out the highlights on the other side.
Welcome back. Last season, when the LB Eagles and the Grove Bulldogs met, Louis Benning came out on top, 24-13. Well, the Dogs, they're itching to get back into the win column, while the Eagles look to make it back-to-back wins to open their season up. It's the second week in a row that Columbus Grove is taking on a BVC foe. They're looking to bounce back from a tough Week 1 loss to the PG Rockets, while LB is fresh off a 45-14 dub against the Lyric Catholic. We pick things up in the third. Columbus Grove up 14-7, and the Dogs decide to go with a running game, but LB's defense comes up clutch. Brady Birkenmeyer takes down the QB, and Zach Elkert recovers the fumble. The sophomore takes it all the way to Grove's 6-yard line as time expires in the third. And then in the fourth, the Eagles strike with this 2-yard rush by number 20 once more as Elkert ties up the game at 14. Later on in the quarter, Grove taking the punt return. It's going to be Zach Reynolds who receives it. And the senior weaves through the Eagles defense. He would take it all the way to LB's 25-yard line before he's pushed out of bounds. And the Bulldogs, well, they continue their momentum as Landon Best hands it off to Trent Braza, and the junior works his way into the end zone. Columbus Grove goes on to win 24-14. Here are some other BVC and NWC scores from around the area. Macomb defends home field with a 55-13 win over Crestview. Lipstick shuts out Van Buren 48-0. And the Riverdale Falcons, well, they take down the Ada Bulldogs 40-27.
All right, now to a couple of top teams in the MAC, each hosting contentious matchups. First, if Coldwater wants to repeat last year's win over Bell Fountain, they'll need to overcome junior quarterback and Ohio State commit Tavian St. Clair. Coldwater leads 21-7 late in the first half, trying to find the scoreboard one last time before they head into the locker room. Fullback Cody Depweg picks up 9 yards. He is a first down. Now, a couple plays later, the Cavs face 3rd and 10, 46 seconds on the clock this time. Miles Potcutter, he breaks free to the outside, picks up 21 yards. He's able to step out of bounds to stop the clock for first down. Very next play, now 37 seconds on the clock. Quarterback Braylon Blockberger, he scrambles, scoping downfield. He throws and finds a man. It's Braylon Harlemer with the leaping grab. He's down inside the 15, but unfortunately penalties catch up to Coldwater. They can't score before halftime, but after the break, Cavs find themselves in Bell Fountain territory again. They go through the air, and it's Potcutter again. He's left wide open for 6 points. Coldwater extends their lead 28-7, and they survive a late scare, 28-25.
Flyers fresh off a 29-26 nail-biter over Wapak in Week 1, hosting Franklin at Booster Stadium tonight. Flyers with a 33-game winning streak, the longest streak in the state. First quarter, Marion local quarterback Justin Knopf searches for a receiver and is able to find one in Andrew Pullman. And Pullman, for the first down to the 22-yard line. Same drive, 2nd down and 4. Knopf analyzes the defense and then hurls it down the field. Gets receiver Victor Holscher, and Holscher puts the Flyers up 7-0 after the score. Later in the quarter, Flyers offense keeps it rolling. Knopf with a pass over to Holscher, who gets yet another first down to the 13-yard line of Franklin. Same drive. Knopf with a QB keeper, a thing of beauty down the sideline for the score. And then Parker Hess would yet add another touchdown. The Flyers streak hits 34 games in a row as they get the 63-7 victory. How about some scores for the MAC teams playing their last week out-of-conference games? Urbana with a 28-20 win over Fort Recovery. Minster with a 35-0 shutout. Cardinals get back on track with a 28-7 win. Versailles with a dominating shutout of Fort Loramie, 35-0. St. Henry earned the shutout last week, but tonight they get shut out by themselves by Archibald. And Parkway moves to 1-1 with a 48-27 victory against North Central. Finally, the Anna Rockets, who came up short last week to Brookville here, 28-21. That's all the time we have tonight, guys. What a fun night. Thank you to everybody that helps put this on. Week 3 coming up real soon, guys.
It's really unbelievable, man. What a great week of football. But let's not forget, tomorrow we have the Holy War between LCC and St. John's.
That's right.
Let's go, guys.
Get highlights for that tomorrow at 6 and 11 on Your News Now Sports.
Thanks, guys.
Have a great night.